Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. We were a little bit locked up on the wrong screen, and I could not get the thing to go where it was supposed to be. So, big thanks to everybody for joining in. Lyle Barnett is on the way. He will be here in moments, and we will bring you a good show. We are going to talk about LSFest. We are going to talk about Rocky Mountain. Well, I shouldn't say Rocky Mountain. We are going to talk about Race Week. In fact, we're going to talk first about Race Week, and we're going to talk about the name and why there's always so much confusion. And we are going to talk with the one and only Lyle Barnett.
Hey.
You know what? I can't call you Lyle Barnett anymore. You realize that, right? From now on, you are U.S. Nationals champion, Lyle Barnett.
That's true.
You need to put that on. I wonder. Well, of course you can. I mean, if celebrities can change their names to symbols, you should be able to make your driver's license say U.S. Nationals champion.
Well, who was the football player for the Bengals that changed? Chad Ochocinco.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right.
It's Chad Johnson, I think, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't give a rat's ass about professional football anymore.
No, yeah, I never did. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Look at you at the office wait, are you at which place are you at?
I'm at Modern.
Are you at Modern? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this is your actual office at Modern rather than the parts room.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yes, Snook.
Well, this is actually I'm in William's office because he's out. He had some surgery today, and it's the cleanest and best set up. So I've got two screens. This is technological advancement overload for me. I've got a screen here. I've got another screen here.
Yeah.
A lot going on. Lots going on.
That's awesome. Snook Aru, another guy who should totally legally change his name, says, yes, you are correct. It is Chad Johnson. So while we're on the subject of names, though, before we get into the U.S. Nationals and how Lyle literally scared the competition into giving him the win, that's what I'm telling everybody. You just scared your way to the winner's circle. It was awesome.
Hey, whatever works.
I know. First, we're going to talk about chronological order, I guess is how we'll go. So we'll go.
Muted. You're still muted. Nope, still muted.
Now I'm good. Yay. Okay. That's what I get. Yeah, you should be able to hear me now. No?
I can. Yep.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
You can. Okay, good. Okay. So Race Week was last week, started last Sunday, so a week ago, 2 days ago. Aaron Spitzer in the house. I did get the shirt, Aaron, by the way. I did, and I should have wore it today. I'm sorry. So Race Week was in Oklahoma and Texas again this year, mostly Oklahoma, but a little bit of Texas. And just like last year, I created the routes. This year I was nicer because it was a holiday. So on Monday, which was day number 2, we had to drive from Thunder Valley to Ennis. And I was nice, and I did a better route. So for those of you that are just joining us and you're like, what the hell's Race Week? It's like Drag Week, only more fun. So this year on what people refer to as 2.0, because the first year it was called 2.0, but now it's called Race Week. We went from Thunder Valley in Oklahoma to the Texas Motorplex in Ennis, Texas. We then went from there to Tulsa Raceway Park, and you guessed it, Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then we raced there for 2 days, actually, because we had another racetrack that was supposed to be the one that we would go to after Ennis, and it sold and closed, and we were unable to race there. So then Tulsa, Oklahoma, and then back to Thunder Valley. The interesting thing was that we did this and it was Labor Day weekend. And honestly, I don't even think that Matt realized it was Labor Day weekend, because I was concerned that Monday, like, everybody be coming back from the lake and stuff, vacation over the weekend. So I thought, man, that's the day we're all supposed to be driving, to Ennis. So I should probably make this be a little bit quicker, route instead, in case everybody gets stuck in traffic, because we were supposed to drive Monday morning and then race Monday afternoon and Monday night, at Ennis. So I gave a little bit more of Interstate 35. Now, the added bonus of this was that the roads would be a little smoother than 77, which was still pretty nice, that we had run the year before, that Dennis Taylor just bitched and moaned about, like, incessantly. So the thing was, I'm like, okay, you're complaining, but now you're not here, and I made it better. And so I was annoyed. Right. But that's what. So yeah, so it was good. We had a good route. It was fun. The whole event was pretty rad. Not gonna lie, we had a lot of drama for some racers and zero for others, which is pretty typical on these drag and drive events now. I mean, it was nuts because we had, we had some people that had carnage like you wouldn't believe. Carlos Astor, who's known for being a small block nitrous guy like none other, recently, as in last year, changed over to big block naturally aspirated with this super badass, I don't remember, it's 600 inches or something like that. Big chief headed, big block, like all that's good in the world, right? It hates him. It hates him. It is broke all the braking.
I know that feeling.
Dude, I swear to God, it's like, I told him, I said, you know what it's mad about? It's because you treated it like a bitch and you didn't spray it. That's what it's mad about. And dude, this time he sent me photos today, and I don't know if he's cool with me showing them, so I'm not going to. But I went, oh my God. Like, there's the sleeves are broke, the crank is broke, the rods are broke, all the broke. And I said, can you tell which thing happened first? Because obviously from the few photos I have, I can't tell. But
it's hard to tell when they're that bad.
Oh, he's bad. And he says he's giving it one more shot. So he's going to come up with a list of parts he needs. And if it doesn't work, he's going back to a small block Chevrolet. I said, oh, thank God, because man. And I love me a big block, but this one does not like him.
I'm going to participate in my first drag and drive soon.
Oh, which one are you doing?
This Carolina deal that Devin Vanderhoof is putting on.
Yeah. So what's the deal? How's that one going to work?
It's, same concept as any of the others. There's just a lot. There are less classes. There's an unlimited, there's a limited, there's a stick shift, and there's an index.
Right.
And or like a not an index, a dial your car class, and it's whatever. So there's 4 classes total. Yeah. And it's all 8th mile, because there are quarter mile tracks around here, but predominantly the streetcar scene is raced 8th mile here, and it just makes a lot more sense in the Southeast to do it that way. So we go Shady Side. Shady Side, Carolina. It's 4 days total. 2 of them are at Shady Side, and then there's Carolina and 1 more in South Carolina. Carolina Dragway, which is in Aiken, South Carolina.
Yep.
And 1 more, and I can't remember which one it is.
Carolina Dragway is awesome. I like Carolina Dragway. I was there for a big money bracket race last year and live streamed, and I like Carolina Dragway. It's really pretty, like lots of grass and trees. Reminded me of like a small version, because of the grass and trees, of US 131 actually, which was kind of funny. But anyway, yes, Carolina Dragway is awesome. Clint Sadowski in the house right now, by the way. Third quickest on race week on a 275 tire in a 3,200 pound 68 Camaro that hauls balls, dude. Like 7-second average all week on small tires, hauls balls. Super rad. So yeah, thank you, Clint, for being here because you are the man. And I think you're the man, and I didn't even know until I had known you for a couple of years that you were a professional baseball player before you were the man with the drag car. So yeah, there's that.
Man, I'm trying to.
You can't find it?
Yeah, let's see. So we're not going to announce yet.
Oh, you're breaking up.
What I'm driving.
Oh, okay. That was what I was going to ask you. So are you going to be able to do sick week next year? That's the question. Well, we can take that answer offline, but because I'm planning for sick week. Okay.
But what is going on with the interwebs?
I don't know, but you're very fuzzy and you're a little bit. Nah.
One of our is really.
Hold on. Just adding you back to see if it like refreshes you or something. Oh, perhaps that was a bad idea. I don't know. Can you hear me? Don Stevens says, you're so damn fast we can't see you. Uh-oh. He's gone. He gone. Well, at least it wasn't my end there, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be back. So, yes. So there's more and more drag and drives coming. I put mine on hold, and thank God I did, because this year would have been bad to have it. Now there's so many of them. I'm like, I don't know. So we'll see. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm reading through the chat as well. See what everybody is saying. Brent Sansucci. Brent, my friend. Hello, hello. Can't wait to see you again. Oh, Barn had the Nightbot on, but he's okay now. Okay, good. All right, sorry, I was reading through the chat. So Lyle will be back momentarily, I am sure. I wanted to say, Charles Wickham in the house too. Everybody that was on Rocky Mountain Race Week 2.0, as people, have typically called it, know that we refer to it just as Race Week. The logo is totally different. It is just Race Week. And during the whole live broadcast, there were multiple people that were like, why does it say Race Week on the screen? Or that said, well, I don't understand why they call it Rocky Mountain Race Week. And I'm like, that's why it isn't. It says Race Week on the screen. Because there's no Rocky Mountains in it. This is for the event that happens to the east. And so it is just Race Week. It is 1320 Videos Race Week presented by Motion Raceworks. And so we had a great time. I cannot thank Brad and Braden enough for being my team on Friday, where they did the live stream while I was gone. And so they did that because I was going to LSFest. So, and if you're just joining us and you're in the chat as well on YouTube in particular, we have what is called the Nightbot now. Nightbot is part of our chat on YouTube, and Nightbot is our spam protector. So no more like those porn spams or any of that stuff trying to get your money or any of those things. So Nightbot is cool. The other thing though that is cool is that you can you guys will realize this later at later events, that if we take Nightbot and we set him correctly, then here's Lyle, then we can make it so you guys can like put a keyword in the chat and it will make Nightbot automate stuff like tell you the weather and all those things for each racetrack. So it's pretty cool. So, okay, Lyle is back. We were talking about race week. So you're going to the Carolina one. Oh, look at that. I can't hear you.
How about now?
Oh, yeah. Now I can hear you. You look way better too.
Yeah, we're going to, it's not anything I've ever driven before.
Okay.
Like ever. No testing in it, never, nothing.
Is it fast or is it just sort of quick?
It's just cool.
Okay, good. That's
better. I mean, it's respectively, it's fast for what it is.
Yeah.
It has a very beer money theme to it.
Awesome. I like that. That makes me happy. But it is not beer money and it is not the missile.
No, neither one of those.
And Biggin is bringing his Camaro. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be ready quite for that one.
Okay, gotcha.
I assume that if he does anything, he'll either take the Swede's car and run unlimited, or he'll be in something different. But I'm sure he's going to be a part of it somehow.
Right.
But anyway,
yeah. So we so on race week this time, because we ran 2 days in a row at one racetrack, which is totally not the norm. Everybody had to leave the racetrack and go still on a drive and then come back. And we gave them the option, like you don't have to carry your trailer. And obviously you don't have to have your luggage with you because that can stay in your hotel. Dude, you would be blown away by the number of people who I said, okay, just as a FYI, while Matt says you don't have to take your trailer, remember that if you break down on this, you ain't got shit if you don't bring your trailer.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm going to be nice to you and tell you all that there is nothing on this route. Like, there are 2 gas stations. There are no O'Reilly's, no auto. There's nothing that will save you. And people were like, oh. I'm like, how stupid do you need to be? And then there were people that said, oh, it's fine. My junk is cool. I'm going to go anyway. And they were fine.
Right.
But there were also a few people who decided not to, and they were stuck and literally had to have somebody come get them to go get the I mean, it was a nightmare. So yeah,
right.
It was entertaining. Yeah. The trailer, I would have, if I was a car pulling a trailer, I would have just taken the trailer. I'm not.
Right.
Yeah. There's just no reason. So, but it was fun. It was cool. I have to give the Lipinskis and specifically Skyla, who's like 10 years old or something, huge props. Dude, she's getting a promotion this week. She doesn't know it, but I'm going to make a Facebook post about this. She legitimately raised almost $2,000 by wandering around and asking people if they wanted to donate to the Wicked Chick Awards. And she raised almost $2,000. And just wandering around and talking to people. And so we had that. We had Women in Wheels that donated. We had Motion Raceworks that donated. And of course, I built 4 different trophies. One of them went to Tina Pierce. Tina and David, awesome people. They were in Tulsa on the first day and hurt the car. Went back home, did a little bit of work, and then decided, they figured out what it was. And so they had a spare crank and rods, swapped the pistons over to the rods, put the new crank and rods in the engine, and then hooked the trailer back up to it and drove it from where they live near Oklahoma City to Tulsa with the trailer. And then just did exhibition stuff, and then drove the whole route back, which was awesome. That car is fast. It was real fun to watch go down the racetrack, and it is going to be a car to watch. Brent Sansucci says his Nova is getting full exhaust and a radiator, right? Meow, which is good. Brent, that's really what that car is supposed to do. Yeah, that car is pretty. Yeah. Taylor,
I'm not announcing what we are not announcing what we're driving and who's riding with me and all that stuff for, I don't know, a week or so. Got to get some stuff figured out and make sure we've got everything ironed out and everything's going to work out before we announce it. And then we, just kidding, not going. Everything looks good for now, and I've committed to go, but there's still some things that have got to happen.
Right. Did you figure out the dates of that?
Oh, the dates are the second weekend in November.
Oh, okay.
So it's the 10th through the 13th.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And it is over the weekend.
Yeah. It starts Thursday. Awesome. Starts Thursday at Shadyside, goes to Carolina. The track in between that, I still haven't. Devin Vanderhoof.
It doesn't
kill me. Let's see. You would think it would be on this route information page, but Union. So it's Union, Shadyside, Union County Dragway, Carolina Dragway, back to Shadyside.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And an all 8th mile. Have there been any all 8th mile drag week style events that you know of?
No, mine was if I do mine, it will be all 8th mile as well, for a couple of reasons, but one of them being that small tire drag racing in Texas is predominantly 8th mile, and so why wouldn't we? Most of the racetracks here are 8th mile, so I'm with you on that. I think there's a couple other good reasons for that too, but as far as keeping the race program quick and all of those things, so
that and people that progressively build cars that are faster and maybe aren't familiar with going quarter mile, and like some of this stuff's getting ridiculously fast.
Yeah, and it's sketchy for
some point.
stuff.
It's safety, right?
Yes. Well, it's why on race week and Rocky Mountain Race Week we run the Rowdy Radial, which is the 26,850 or 235, class, is 8th mile, and that's a little bitty tire to be going real fast on, and those dudes on race week, Andy won that. His average was somewhere in the 520s or 530s or whatever, which is moving. I mean, that's in a GTO that's a heavy street car. But we also know guys like Big Worm who were running mid 4s on that tire. And now that's a full boogie Outlaw 850 car. Don't get me wrong. But nonetheless, that's ridiculously fast on that little tire. And to go a quarter mile, you would be looking at cars that were going 215 miles an hour on that little bitty tire. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brent says he's going to bust Andy's ass.
I saw that. I love it. He's such a smack talker, but that's why he's our friend. Ken Dragon Drive fans from the UK says, big shout out to my buddy Tom. Did Sick Ward in February, just did Road Week, and will be at Drag Week next week. Hardcore DNZ lover from the UK. Well, Ken, you missed one. So I met Tom at Ennis on Race Week. Tom is awesome. He is from the UK. He did Sick Ward. He did come out to do Road Week here on Race Week. And then he came to LSFest in Bowling Green and hung out all weekend there on his way to Drag Week, which is next week, I believe. And then he is going to leave Drag Week when it's over and go to LA and spend a week there absorbing the vitamin D and all that is cool in the hot rod world, and then going back to the UK. So Tom is awesome. And it was super cool to get to talk to him. And to all the people that are all our UK viewers, big shout out. And our condolences for the Queen.
Yes,
dude, the Queen, seriously, I said this the other day and it's true. No world leader in history did more or was more influential than that woman the day before she died. Like nobody that was alive had ever done more in this world than the Queen of England, because no monarch had ever lived that long. She never wanted to be the queen. That wasn't, she got there by accident. And she was awesome. So very cool for the queen. 96 years old, dude. That's awesome. And still driving, by the way. You knew that like presidents are not allowed to drive, but when you're the queen, you get to give the big FU to any rules because you're the queen. So she had Jaguars, dude, and she drove Jags like apparently once every other week or whatever. Like she was like, "Hey, we're going for a drive," and rolled around. I think awesome.
You and I will be lucky to live to 96 with our ages combined.
Yes.
Oh man. I mean, you're almost
Shut up. Shut your damn mouth. Shut your damn mouth, Lyle Barnett.
Oh man.
God. Oh, Jesus. Help us all. All right. So I had to leave. So I had to leave from help me, Lord, from race week at Thunder. Well, I left Tulsa, had to go to Thunder Valley. We had a drive day. I hauled ass to Thunder Valley, literally set up the whole live stream, and then left and got on an airplane so that Braden and Brad could live stream the next day. I flew to Bowling Green, Kentucky to announce at LSFest all weekend long, which I did. And that was just it was a long weekend. Meanwhile, you have spent, since Monday night last week, you've spent every night, caviar and champagne, right? Celebrating still, right?
Yes. And changing poopy baby diapers and warming up bottles. And yeah.
Because you're on night duty now, aren't you?
I am.
Yes. So for those of you that don't know, two important things here. Number one, Melissa, Lyle's wife, is a nurse practitioner, right?
Yes.
Yes. And I was making sure I had the title correct. And she has started a new job in the last few weeks, and she works nights. She works nights so that she can take care of Nasty Nash D in the mornings, and then Lyle goes home and takes over daddy duty, and he is all in control all night. But last Monday, kapow, U.S. Nationals win. Did you even okay, so for the record, this is the first time you've been to the finals in a Pro Mod car without me, and the first win, therefore, without me.
True. And so Mike Earl's fired you, by the way.
I know. Mike Earl said some nasty things to me, and I heard them. He couldn't even say them behind my back. And
said him right to your face.
He did, right to my face. He turned right to me.
Said him right to your face in cursive.
Big time. And then and you went out there and you won. So tell me, how'd the weekend go? Give us the whole thing, because the U.S. Nationals is not like any other NHRA national event, because it starts it's like, hey, one day I spent a month racing for a week at the U.S. Nationals, because it's forever.
Yeah, it starts on a Tuesday and ends 4 Sundays later.
Yeah, but horrible and awesome all at the same time.
We qualify for you qualify for 4 days, or let's see, Fridays, Saturdays. So you qualify for 3 days.
3 days, yeah.
You race for a whole day.
It's almost of no use whatsoever to you as a tuning aid. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So we struggled all through qualifying. We found after the third qualifier, when I pedaled it just after the 8th mile to squeak into the field into the 15 spot, went 585 at 240 something or 250 or something like that. We found that the chassis was broken. So I had some pretty violent tire shake in Norwalk, which I almost wrecked. And then in Topeka with the whole throttle hanging and Jose getting out of shape and in my lane, and I stuffed it in the wall a little bit. It hit the wheelie bars pretty hard, and we think a combination of things probably weakened the chassis there. And then at some point between, am I still on?
Yeah, you are. It's me that's screwy.
Okay.
You got it. Keep
going. At some point between Brainerd and Indy, we found that the chassis was broke after Q3. Fixed that. Was supposed to run E1 on Sunday afternoon. However, Weather rolled in while we were in the staging lanes. They called it, and we ran all of our eliminations on Monday, just as the rest of the pros. I had the number 2 qualifier, Mike Castellana, first round. Justin literally just had to take a shot in the dark and put a tune-up in there that we knew would be respectable. Maybe not quite as fast as it needed to be, but we needed to go down the racetrack. I was 13 off the button. I think Mike was 37. He went 76.8, I think. I went 78. I don't know, 1 or 2 or 3 or something like that. Anyway, I beat him by 2 thou on a whole shot.
Right.
So we obviously then knew we had a car that could run. Had JR Gray second round. I was 23 off the button. He was 26. So 3 thou. He slowed a little. We made another pretty much duplicate run to go on to win second round and go to the semifinals. We have what we call the wheelie stator for the converter.
Right.
If you've watched this car, if you watch Red Velvet make any runs over the past couple months, that thing is a wheelie machine, and it's just what we have to do to make it run through the middle of the racetrack. We're doing some stuff to the car now to try to fix that so that when we go to Charlotte, we can run the wheelie stator, which is faster than the non-wheelie stator.
But and when you say it's a wheelie machine, the car gets out there, it leaves, it gets out about 100 feet, and it hikes the wheelie front end
for like 400 feet.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The wheels are in the air for, let's say a third of the run. It just doesn't happen to be from the very beginning. It's more like in the middle third, if you will.
Yeah, like it sets down around the 8th mile-ish, somewhere in there.
Yes.
So between the second round when I beat JR and the third round, which I had to race Eric Dillard, who had just went 575, we decided to put the wheelie stator back in. We tried to make some changes to fix it. I let go of the button. It runs really good down low, starts to climb to the wheelie bar, goes to the center line. I have to lift, but Eric Dillard had red light. I think he went 002 red or something like that. Yeah. So we win the semifinal. Decided to leave that stator in. And what was your light? I was not good. So I was like 60.
Yeah. Tell them why.
And so I had turned my fresh air on, and it was blowing a little harder than I usually like it, but I was like, that's fine, and I'd go back to the steering wheel. Well, I had turned the top bulb on, was waiting on Eric to come in, and about the time I would have reached over to cut the air down some, he turned his bulb on, and if he dove straight in and I was not ready, then we would have timed out. So I needed to blink. My eyes were filling with water, and I needed to blink. And I'm like, crap, do I blink or not? So I go to the wood and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I should blink. Like I usually don't blink. Should I blink? And finally I'm like, hell, I'm going to have to. I can't see, So I bump in and he was not quite there. So I blink. When I opened my eyes back up, he was in, and I'm like, oh, and then here comes the light. And I was just, it doesn't sound like a good excuse, but it completely screwed up my rhythm there. And I was like 69 or something. Thank God he was red, because he'd have beat me on a whole shot anyway.
But those of you that are new and don't know, remember that when the fire happened, luckily they were able to repair Lyle's tear ducts. So he makes lots of tears. Unfortunately, the drains that we all have in the bottom corners of our eyelids on each end, he doesn't have those.
Correct.
So they require manual manipulation. And if they get to tearing up real bad, ain't into stopping them. So,
right.
Oh God.
But anyway, Dillard goes red. Once I saw my lights blinking on the top of the scoreboard, I just let out and coasted to the finish line. So we're in the final. We collectively decided the wheelie stator was still the stator to use. We made some more changes to try to fix it. Go up for the final. I made sure I blinked like 10,000 times and wiped my eyes before I shut my visor. And in the final, I was 11 off the button, and Chris Thorne was 007 red. It climbed to the wheelie bar again, drove to the middle, but it didn't matter. So the last 2 rounds of eliminations, the semifinal and the final, both I had to abort runs, and both of my opponents went red. So
because you scared them. Sure.
I heard I got more. I got just as many. I need that horseshoe or you lucky SOB. Right. I got just as much of that as I did, that's not true. I got way more congratulations, but which I appreciate all those, by the way. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, I would like to think at least that my performance on the starting line all weekend led to those guys knowing they had to go after the tree and turning it red. Is that the case? I don't know. You'll have to ask them.
But you know as well as I do that it's not just that weekend. I mean, everybody has seen. So Dillard doesn't run at all the NHRA Pro Mod races. He only runs at select races, right? But he watches all year long. You're racing against drivers that are running his combination and his, tuners, etc. So he knows what you normally do, right? He's also raced against you in a million other things over the years. And everybody else has seen the fact that on multiple occasions you're pulling out, whole shot wins on guys. That means everybody knows they have got to be there and on their game. And for some of those guys, now Dillard, we know Dillard's good on the tree. Dillard is very good on the tree. I would have to look it up to see like the exact numbers, but my guesstimation would be that Dillard's average is like a high teen, right? To low 20, right?
And he's in a car that he tests for Jose, but he was in a car that he doesn't normally drive, right? So it actually took him a couple rounds to get comfortable because Jose, likes the wheel in a certain spot, and is comfortable. Dillard is a little taller, right? Likes his wheel in a different spot. So it actually took him most of qualifying to figure out just where to orient his arm to be comfortable letting go. So I know throughout qualifying, he was not happy with himself, but Dillard being, the exceptional driver that he is, figured it out. And you get these, there's a guy that what he does is bring around these detailed sheets of everybody's run, and you can see all their splits, numbers, numbers you wouldn't even think of, 660 to the 330 and mile an hour there and all this stuff. So I had been paying attention to what Dillard had done. And he was, like you said, he was in the bottom 20s, high teens all day long, and I think may have been 00 in the second round or something like that. So I mean, me being 69, I did not do myself any good. It's my fault. Like I should have just, blinked whenever I thought about it or initially and went on in and did my thing. But that was the worst light I had. I don't think I was out of the 20s all weekend. So we'll just toss that one out.
Yeah, but one thing too, though, let's talk about that because we're talking about staging and leaving the tree or leaving the starting line. So auto start is a setting, okay, in the Christmas tree in the timing system, and most of you probably are aware of this, but if you aren't, this is how this works. So in auto start, you can set a time, okay. It is 7 seconds by NHRA national event standards. But it is something that can be manipulated. So your racetrack at home could decide it's 10 seconds, whatever. But anyway, 7 seconds is the normal. And what it is that when any combination of 3 stage and or pre-stage bulbs are lit, then there is 7 seconds before that tree is going to come down, whether the last bulb gets lit or not. If it does before the last bulb gets lit, then that person gets a red light, right? So what that means is Lyle and I pull into the beams, I pre-stage, he pre-stages. I'm in a Pro Charge car, so I'm nice to him. So I light the bottom bulb and make him hurry, right? Or if I'm actually being nice to him, I let him light the bottom bulb first. Then I have 7 seconds at the most to light the bottom bulb, but I can let him build boost, do his thing, whatever, right? So the thing about it is 7 seconds, when you hit 7 seconds for your microwave, like to warm something up, is like forever. Like you can almost go in and pee and come back. Like it's fast, right? But 7 seconds on the starting line feels like
it's an eternity.
If you're having trouble, it's oh my god, I can't. Time.
Right.
Yeah. If you're like dialed in and ready, you're like, how long has it been?
Well, if you're a turbo
like
car,
it's been forever,
and you're the first to bump in.
Oh yeah,
and then you're waiting on the person next door to come in.
7 is horrible. Yes,
it's an eternity. You're like the converter's 9,000 degrees.
Yeah,
that this thing is going to come apart right beside my my calf muscle over here. So yes, I get what you're saying.
So then let's say that. So let's use that example. If I'm a Pro Charged car or a nitrous car, or a screw blown car, I can pull in, I can light the bottom or the top bulb, and then I can light the bottom bulb, and then I can wait for you. And I instantly map the throttle and let go of the button, right? Like that, it happens like this. Turbo car has to pull in to the top bulb, start building boost, and then bump into the bottom bulb, because then the light's going to come down. So while courtesy staging means you only light one bulb and then wait for the other person to light the other before you light the next, when you're racing up against a turbo car, there's another element of that, right? So in that scenario, the nice thing is for me as a Pro Charge car to light the top bulb, you light your top bulb, you start putting yours up on the chip to build boost, and I need to go into the second bulb and be ready to go to wood the thing as soon as you bump in. The dick move would be I light the top bulb, you light the top bulb, and I immediately am in the bottom bulb, and you're like, oh shit, and you haven't even started, right? Yeah. That which is not a horrible move, but it's a little in. The worst one is I light the top bulb and sit there, and you light the top bulb, and I wait on you.
Yes.
And I wait on you because then you get it up on the two-step and you bump it in, and I have 7 seconds. And I can sit there and go 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, bump, chip, leave. I mean, like that. And that results in some words at the top end of the racetrack.
Yeah. Or a hell of a celebration if you go back and watch the final round in Dallas from last year when something similar happened, and we won on a ginormous hole shot.
Oh yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. But so I would say in that scenario, based on where we were about 2 seconds when we decided that fighting was what was happening. We were about 2 seconds from that going down, when luckily the tree came down. So there was like a 5-second differential in there. And let me tell you, the converter was not the only hot thing, because I saw Lyle's dad start to go and was like, oh shit, boy, we're fighting now.
Better tighten my belt.
Somebody's got to have Mark's back, and I'm your boy. Here we go. We're about to be on TV.
Yeah. And the whatever county that drag strip is in, their lockup the next morning as well. Yeah.
It's all right. Hey, you know what? It would have been all right. It would have been totally fine, because we would have had win money to pay the bail with at least.
But we're a little over a week from our last hometown race for the year, for me at least.
Yes.
We're at ZMAX next weekend. This one's not 4 wide.
Not this weekend, the following weekend.
Yes. The 23rd through the 25th.
Yes.
Not 4 wide. Thank you, Jesus. Just as God intended, 2 wide drag racing.
Yes.
And that will be the third to last race for the NHRA Pro Mod season. The Camping World Series has entered the countdown for Top Fuel, Funny Car, Pro Stock, and Pro Stock Motorcycle. We do not have a countdown.
No.
We just continue on. Chris Thorne still has a pretty commanding lead, and even though I beat him in the final, it didn't do much for trying to stop his absolute tear for a championship this year. But it's not over yet.
That train has been chugging along.
But
I mean, and they deserve credit. Yes, exactly. I mean, because he hasn't been winning by luck. He's been winning because that car has been insanely good.
Yes. But we go Charlotte, St. Louis the weekend of October 1st, and then we are in Dallas the third weekend of October, I believe.
It's the weekend of the 12th through the somethings, I think. So the second weekend. If you tell me it's not, it's the next weekend, that'll make me happy because I have an opportunity.
Dallas is the 13th through the 16th.
Yeah, see, sucks.
Yes, that's right.
It makes me not happy. That's the site of your first win. I'm happy about that, but it means I'm gonna have to tell some people I can't come do a race of theirs that they want me to do. That would be awesome. Yeah. So. And St. Louis is in between Dallas and
the weekend
Charlotte.
of October 1st.
Yeah. That's Ford Fest weekend, so I'll be in Bowling Green for that. But Charlotte, I'll be there. So yeah.
Yes. Perfect.
David Wegner says Saturday and Sunday general admission $80 for Charlotte. I don't know if that's saying yippee, it's only $80 or damn, it's $80. I don't know which one that is.
I don't know if it's $80. Surely it's not $80 a day.
I don't know. NHRA is proud of stuff. I have a new rule.
Gross.
I have a new rule. I figure that after the last 15-ish years of giving to this sport, I'll be goddamned if I'm paying to get into a racetrack anymore. Right. I'm just saying it out loud. Just saying it out loud. I mean, to race all in. Like, I will pay to race without question. But dude, I am just not paying to get into a racetrack anymore. I mean, I've only had a couple of instances in the last few years where somebody asked me to pay and then they realized afterwards and we're like, oh shit, I can't believe I charged you for that. That's okay. So yeah, Neil Sabo in the house and Charles Wickman. Wickman might be coming to PRI. God help us all.
God.
I know. Yes. I know. He told me today. Yeah. So we'll see. We need to talk about the where we're staying arrangements and stuff too.
We need to get with Doug because I think we were going to try to do something.
I know.
As a combo again, but if we do that, we need to.
Last year it was very last minute for the combo deal on all of our parts, and it was it was a riot. Don't get me wrong, but
it was
that was a tough one last year because it was like, I'm sleeping on the dining room table and some dude was in the basement, which was way creepy. And it was weird. Yeah. Prika knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, he does.
Yeah. He says, Doug will book that the day before we leave.
Yeah. There's no doubt we'll be in cots in the alleyways outside.
Please, Prika, spearhead this thing for us. I mean, I don't know why I'm even saying that. We're such assholes. We're like, come on, Doug, get a house for us.
Right. Yeah. As if we couldn't do it.
Grown men that we couldn't go get our own place to stay.
Yeah, no doubt.
We're like, hey, Doug, you getting a place? It's his fault because a couple of years ago, when he was all proactive the first time they did this, he got that big, beautiful house and he got it like weeks ahead and was like, come stay with us and blah, blah, blah. Right. And then it was all downhill from there. I'm like, oh, yes, Jesus, you started a bad trend now. So, see, like I'm getting an actual message from this racetrack right now. We have to talk later. Anyway, so yeah. So what is, Wickman says Walmart air mattress. I know I slept on one of those for a week. It was fine. Prika did have his own room. That's true. He did have his own room. Let's see. I'm sorry. He says he's going to try his best to arrange it with Dougie. Okay, awesome. Yeah,
well, let me know how that goes.
Yeah. So, which big congratulations to Andy Cook and Doug. I mean, Doug was his co-pilot for most of the trip for winning Rowdy Radial. So Andy, I talked to Andy on day one and I'm like, where's Doug? He didn't go to Bristol, did he? And he goes, oh yeah. And I mean, he looks at him like he's crazy. And I went, seriously? He goes, oh yeah, he's there with the trailer and this and that. And I said, oh, well, I guess that's probably smart because he probably sold like $11 jillion worth of t-shirts. But Andy looks at me and he looks at me square on. This is why Andy is awesome. Andy looks at me and goes, I said, I have a race car sitting in the garage and it's ready to run. I'm going racing. I'm like, okay, good. And it's a good thing he did because, again, he won. So, which is awesome because that thing has all new cage work. He said it's way different to drive now, like nicer, because he sits way lower in the car and further back. He said it just feels more comfortable and all new cage in the car. So it's legal to go quicker than 850. It's pretty cool. That car, that's a way legit street car too. So Andy's is neat. For those that were asking about Doug's car, that car went, it went to Larry Jeffers right away. I mean, literally straight from when it was crashed. And unfortunately, because it was hard to get some parts and stuff, Larry's guys got done with it really quickly, considering that Doug had to literally go buy like NOS quarter panels and some other stuff at crazy inflated prices. But Jeffers got done everything they were supposed to do to that car. And then some changes were decided upon. And so it's sort of snowballed, and now it may end up being a different color, it looks like. And it got a bunch more chassis stuff done to it, a bunch of other things. So it's going to end up being faster or quicker and faster, I think, than it was ever planned to be, but while still being this really stock looking ish, exterior car. So that thing, because of the snowball, it's just not done. If Doug had his way, it would be done and he'd have been racing it already this year. But it is what it is, and we know it's going to be super nice because it's Doug's car. He wants to paint it that new Camaro blue that he thinks is the greatest blue ever on earth. I respectfully tell you, you're wrong, Mr. Cook. But I do love you, and I want you to paint your car whatever color you want it to be. Wickman says we're going to call it Murder Nova 4.0.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No, yes. We are not. No, nothing. .0's nothing.
Right.
That's dumb. Come up with a new name.
Tatted Sailor in the house. Braden is one of the guys that helped do the live stream, him and Brad, on Friday for race week. So thank you, dude. I owe you big time, and I will.
Prika, if you have week. Doug Cook's credit card number,
yes,
a house in Indianapolis should be the least of his worries.
Yes, he'll never know. All you have to do is in the note put 3rd gen Camaro parts.
Yes.
I mean,
Molly will overlook it.
Yeah,
Doug will overlook it. He'll forget. It's all good.
Let me ask you a question, Prika. Did Doug see the 3rd gen next to Tulsa Raceway Park? That's a test right there. I want to see. All right. Kenny Edwards in the house. Out of New York. Oh, Josh Udy's in the house. He said this is not going to be good.
No, it is going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually going to be really good.
It is. Yes.
And Josh, if you have not already planned to be on the Southeast Street and Yeet, which is the drag and drive, you need to plan accordingly because it's going to be fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, I need to have a conversation with you and, well, more importantly, Biggin. I mean, no offense, but with Biggin and with Pete, with all y'all, about some stuff for Sick Week next year. So yeah, we have to do some planning.
Perfect.
MGB Chuck, do I remember the Kolofsky Willies? That doesn't sound familiar. Uh-oh, Prika may have just said what you're driving. Hold on, I'll get rid of it. It's supposed to be a secret, Prika. I don't know how to get rid of it. I can't delete it.
It's fine. It's fine. Way to go, Prika.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a secret. What'll be awesome is if it doesn't happen and that's not what you drive, will actually be perfect.
Well, that is.
Oh, look at Brent. Brent, dumbass.
God. Yeah, so I'm driving the Motion Raceworks El Toro. But that's awesome. Nobody knows who my co-pilot is yet.
Oh, there you go. I hope it's Red or Doug. Well, Red would be fun. Doug. Digby would be fun. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud all the ones that would be cool. I mean, your dad would be good.
Are you covering this deal or coming at all? Or?
I don't know. That's maybe. Yeah, we'll see now. Clearly not riding in the back seat since you're bringing a Mustang. Just saying. Prika deleted it. Like it didn't happen. It's never.
Yeah, well, it's too freaking late now. God.
Neil Sabo says that he heard I'm not announcing it's sick week. I don't know, honestly, if I am or I'm not. I've had no conversation whatsoever. But I am hoping to bring a car. So I think it would be fun to do both, but we'll figure it out either way.
Oh, God.
Laughing at now. What'd he say?
Brent.
Oh, that would be awesome. Wait, since you don't have a driver's license, why does he not have a driver's license? Do I not know the story? Who knows? Yeah, that's true. Prika says 26 people did see it.
On here?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Not counting the ones on the tube.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I hate to get out of here, but I've got a long drive home. And
yep. I got stuff to do. I have to go fill out LLC paperwork. Not lying. Yeah. No, gross. Need to make these things happen so that all of this can get written off.
That's true.
Yeah. All right. So once again, congratulations.
Thanks, man. Nationals. Let's go.
U.S. Nationals champion Lyle Barnett in the house. Okay, dude. Here's what we're going to do. I vow this, okay? The next restaurant that you and I are in with a group of people, because it's not as fun if it's just the two of us. My dad's over here laughing. He knows where we're going. So the next restaurant that we're at with a group of people that has that's a Chili's or a TGI's or something with the thing where the CB or the microphone to call Bob, party of three. I am going to go in and get the microphone, and then I am going to announce your entry. Okay. Welcome to Chili's, U.S. Nationals champion, Lyle Barnett. And
I'm going to come in with my shirt off.
Yeah, exactly. I may or may not have done that already a few times. Oh, Wickman says it's going to be a Gapplebee's. So yeah, there we go.
That's fine.
It'll be perfect.
All right, fools. Right. I got to go.
Have a lovely day.
Y'all too.
All right. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. We will see you next Tuesday. Power Shift is supposed to be Thursday. Might be early because at this point I am scheduled to fly out at 7 p.m. out of here. So we'd have to move it earlier. But I may change that to mean earlier. And then we do our regularly scheduled time at 7 Central from Bowling Green, Kentucky. So stay posted. Perfect. We got lots going on. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Lyle and I, we're like,
we're
out of here.
See ya.